This video is lesson 13, adding pictures and shapes to a worksheet. The first thing they tell us to do is to open a new blank document. So I'm going to go to Excel and open up the software and select blank document once it opens. And once I open Excel, it's telling me to insert a picture that's called 13 Happy Kids from my folder. Our file folder for lesson 13. So I'm going to go to insert, and to insert pictures, it's in the illustrations group. And then I'm going to go to pictures. And I am going to find my folder for Excel 2016. And once I insert the picture, it tells us to save it as 13 insert picture solution. So I'm going to click off the picture to make it inactive and go to file, save as, and I'm going to put it in my completed files and save it as 13 insert pictures solution. And I've already been working, so I'm going to just save over it. And next thing it asks us to do is to insert another picture, but this time we're going to insert a picture from online pictures. So I'm going to go to insert again, illustration, online pictures. And they want us to use a search string, keyword children eating lunch. And they just tell us to select any picture. So I'm going to get a picture that shows diversity. I only want one picture selected. I'm going to insert that picture. And the picture is selected. And it tells us to hit save. So we're going to leave it as the same file name, and we're going to hit save. Tells us we'll go ahead and close this file out, and this time they want us to open 13 add shapes. So I'm going to go into our lesson 13 folder and open up 13 add shapes. And just as it said, we're going to add a couple of shapes to this spreadsheet called fundraising events. So the first thing they tell us to go to insert, go back to the illustrations group, and this time we've already used online pictures, we're going to use shapes. So we're going to click on shapes, and they want us to go to the block arrows. These are your sections, so block arrows is here, and they want us to use the up arrow. So I'm going to select the up arrow, arrow up, and it tells us to draw the shape under funds raised. Here's the fundraise column, so I'm going to draw the shape right here. Move it over a little so it's sort of towards the middle of the column. And then I'm going to click any blank cell to not have that shape active. And then I'm going to go, save it as 13 add shapes solution. Add shapes solution in my completed files folder. And again, I worked on this earlier, so I'm going to just override what I've already saved. And then it tells us to insert another shape, but this time we're going to do the arrow, the line arrow. So I'm going back to insert illustration, shapes, lines, and this is the line arrow. And they want us to start with cell D22 and drag up to D19. D22 is here, drag up to D19, which is about there. And then click off of that. Release the mouse button, click a blank cell. Just hit save to save your workbook. Now I'm going to add another shape. This time it's going to be from the stars and banners section. So go back to insert illustrations. I'm going to go to shapes, stars and banners. So I'm going to have to scroll down, and it tells us to choose the explosion 1 shape, and it is the first shape in the category. So I select that, and they want us to draw it from funds needed column. So I click here, I draw, and they told us to add text, goal exceeded. So I'm going to right click, go to edit text, and I'm going to type goal exceeded with an exclamation point. And then they tell us to bold it, center it, and change the font size at 14. So I'm going to hit click 3 times just to select it, go home. I'm going to hit bold, center, and change that to 14. And then save the workbook. On to the second page. Now we're going to add a text box, and we're going to go to the insert button again, but this time we're going to go to the text group. So let's go to insert text group, which is down to your right, and click text box. So we see the pointer changes to a vertical cursor, and it's going to tell us to drag from cell C24, B20 to C24. So I'm going to go to B20 to C24. Whoops. And I'm going to pull it over to B. And it tells us to type in these numbers are preliminary. I need to check with the director before releasing the worksheet to the board for review, period. And then click in cell A1 and hit save. And now we're going to insert some word art. So that's still going to go to the insert and down to the text group, and word art is under there. So I'm going to click on word art. They want us to choose the fill blue accent. When we're going to use our screen tips, I know it's blue, so I'm going to go to blue. Fill blue accent color 1 shadow. So this is the one they want us to use if we're looking at that screen tip. So, and it tells us to type in great fundraiser. And move it to the top. And hit save, and then close the workbook. So we've added all of those shapes, text box, word art. So we're going to close the workbook, and we're going to open up this time format graphics. So and make sure we click in the events, fundraising events worksheet, and they want us to click the starburst shape to select it. And then the more arrow of the shape styles. So go to your shape format toolbar, and this is your more arrows. So I'm going to click that. They want us to choose from the gallery, select light 1 outline, color fill, red accent 2. So I'm going to go to the red section. So light 1 outline, color fill, red 2. Light 1 outline, color fill, red. So this the third one from the bottom. And then it tells us to change the shape's fill color by going to the shape fill button right here in your shape styles group. And when we go to shape, they want us to choose dark blue text 2. I know it's blue, so let's just use the screen tip. Dark blue text 2, so that's the one they want us to use. So click that. And then they want us to change the shape outline color to red accent 2. So go to shape outline, and I'm going to just go to red accent 2, which is the first one. And so you see how your shape is changing as we're doing it. Now we're going to save this as 13 Format Graphic Solutions. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, in my completed files folder, and then just type solution, and hit save. And I am going to replace that. And now we're going to resize the graphic, the starburst shape, so that goal exceeded is on one line. So we're going to drag either the left or right. I'm going to drag the left so the goal exceeded is on one line. And that's what we do. So save the workbook. And now we're going to close that out. File close. And I'm going to open up 13 enhancements. And once I open up 13 enhancements, we're going to change a couple of photos up here. So in the correction worksheet, so I'm going to change correction worksheet. Select the photo, and it tells us on the Picture Tools Format tab, click the Corrections button. So Picture Tool Format, Corrections button. They want us to choose the Sharpen 50%. This is the Sharpen, it says at the far left. So if I look at the screen tip, I see that that is Sharpen 50%. So I click that, and we're going to adjust the photo that's too dark or too light. We're going to just use the brightness and contrast on the corrections, and brightness is contrast is here. And I'm going to just select that so you can see that it is brighter. And we're going to save this as 13 enhancement solutions. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, 13 enhancements solution. And I'm going to hit Save. And now it tells us to click the color sheet. So I'm at Worksheet. So I click the Color tab at the bottom. And we see the baby holding the spoon. So we're going to click that picture. And then we're going to go to the picture format. And we're going to go to the color button. That's here. And they want us to choose in the recolor section. They want us to choose Sepia. S-E-P-I-A, recolor. So here's Sepia. Sepia, whatever. So we've chosen that, and then it says the image takes on a brown tone. And next we're going to go to the color button again and select picture color options at the bottom of the menu. So that's down here. And it wants us to change the sharpness slider to 33%. So it's on the picture corrections, and the sharpness is here, and you just scroll over to 33%. So I saved it as 33%, and we're going to hit Save, and I'm going to close the Format Pictures pane, and I've saved the workbook, and I'm going to close that out. And then next we're going to go to Open 13 Smart Art. So I'm trying to finish this, so let's go ahead. So once I open 13 Smart Art, at the bottom of the workbook, they want us to click the New Sheet icon to create a new sheet, and we're going to name it Process. And move it to the end of the row of worksheets. So I'm going to click the New Worksheet. I can double click and I'm going to name it Process, or you can right click and click Rename. And they tell us to move it to the end. So I've moved it to the end. And they want us to insert our Smart Art graphics. So I'm going to go to Insert, Illustrations Group. And here is Smart Art. And we're going to go to the Process category and click the Alternating Flow diagram. Process category, Alternating Flow. And that's here. And then click OK. And once I click OK, it tells us to type the information in and hit Save. I can't really see this. And you're finished typing in this information in the rest of the text boxes. And then it tells us to save it as 13 Smart Art Solution. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And you know that you need to finish, typing the rest of the information. So I'm going to just add solution at the end. And save it in the completed files folder. And that is the end of lesson 13. So that was a pretty quick lesson compared to the other ones. And so now you work on it and you should be able to go through it with no problems. Thank you.